Good morning, everyone. It's October 20th, 2020. I'm here in Halifax, Nova Scotia, and we're going to take a walk around the north end today. Not too bad a day out. It's 16 degrees Celsius. It's about 61 degrees Fahrenheit for any of our American friends that may watch this. Okay, let's get going. We got a lot to cover here, and we're going to walk around different areas of the north end of Halifax. And the north end is very unique area. Most cities don't have an area quite like this. It's one time, a long time ago, it wasn't quite like it is now, but it's full of, you see a lot of artwork on the buildings, like this one right here. It's full of people, musicians and artists and people like that, and a lot of good coffee shops here, like not like the big chain shops, but the little family-owned coffee shops. There's a lot of those around in the north end. Okay, and so we're going to walk down a little ways on. This is Gottingen Street where I'm starting out, and we might take some other streets when we get down here a little bit, because I want to cover a large area as possible here today, just an overall view of the north end. And maybe later videos will concentrate on one specific area. Okay, so my last video we had Portland Street, and this is Portland Street on the Halifax side, so there's not the same street at all. You got two different streets by the same name. So over in Dartmouth you got a Portland Street, and on the Halifax side you got a Portland Street. So not to be confused, if you take a taxi and you go to Portland, you better tell them which Portland you want to go to. All right, now we'll see if we can just have a look at some of these things going by here. There's a bakery here, but I don't think it's open yet. So I know sooner or later I'm going to want to find a coffee shop this morning. Haven't had any coffee yet today. My body requires a large coffee intake. But don't tell my wife. This is a store that sells all kinds of things like you see a Batman sign. They got all kinds of puzzles, games, things to do with movies, characters in movies, stuff like that. And everyone's selling masks now. That's a big seller this year. There's Global across the street. I presume that's the Global, like the Global News and TV channel. And we have several TV channels here in Halifax, at least 3 for sure. I'm not sure after that, but we have CTV and Global, and I'm not sure there's a third one. Anyways, we'll continue on up Gottingen here. There's a coffee shop right across the street there. The Nook on Gottingen. Coffee, beer, even some beer. How about that? Well, Gottingen is usually quite a busy street because there's a lot of shops on this street, so you're always going to see lots of people on the street usually. Unless at the height of the pandemic there wasn't all that many people on the street then, but there is now. People are getting out and shopping again and walking around and doing all different kinds of things. So here we are at Gottingen and Cornwallis. I'll keep on going maybe another block before I take a different street, and it's quite nice out this morning. 16 degrees isn't too bad. Not for the middle of October. Middle of October, 16 degrees is pretty good, considering some places it's been in the minus already. So it's really good here. 16 degrees. I was looking up the statistics on Halifax, and we are considered to be the second warmest city in all of Canada. We're only getting beaten out by Victoria. Yep, that's it. We're even supposed to be warmer than Vancouver. So we got a pretty mild city here, which I don't mind at all after living in Toronto and in the wintertime getting minus 30 sometimes and staying like that for a month. It's pretty good down here. There's a nice mural right there. There's a lot of nice murals painted around the city, which I'm going to try to cover as many of them as I can. I know where there's some I haven't videoed yet, so we're going to try to get to those. If not in this video, another video. This is the Propeller Brewing and a coffee shop there too. I think it's called Agricola coffee shop. There's a lot of construction going on here. This north end is just like full of construction jobs. Before I turned on the camera, I passed a couple the other way, but I wanted to go this way with a renditive video here, so I waited. But yeah, there's one job right there, and there's a whole lot more of them around here. Halifax North End is the part of the city that's growing the most. They're really building up the city up in this end, which I really love that, because the north end of Halifax is like a wonderful place. It's a great place to come just to walk. There's all kinds of shops and stores. And I've met a lot of folks over here on the street. They're very, very friendly people. And it's my favorite area of the whole city is the north end of Halifax. It's got some charm to it that you don't see in maybe the rest of the city. So it's just got it's kind of its own little area here. This summer they redid the streets here, and didn't used to be like this, all marked out for the bus, and it was 2 lanes on this side before, and now we got a nice bus lane there, and you can park on the side. And I don't think you have to pay to park here either. You can just park. Okay. So here's the library. This is a very popular spot for more reasons than just books. The library here kind of helps out people that's on the street and don't have anywhere to go. So if you need things like resources to things, they'll tell you where they are. And they have different things you can get in there if you need it, like different products. If you don't have it, you can go in there and they'll give you it. And there's free washrooms in there. You can go in there and use the washroom and that type of thing. So it's really busy. The library is usually busy all the time. When the pandemic was at its height, they closed the library, and the people that were kind of like, I don't know if they were homeless, but people that were on the street so used to go to the library, they didn't have anywhere to go. Well, the pandemic was at its height. But everything's pretty good now. It's all come back pretty close to normal. Maybe not quite, but we're just keeping our fingers crossed that we don't get into a second wave like they have in parts of Canada. So far here we're doing okay. I think right now there's, last I heard, I think there was 3 new cases, but they were travel related. People went out of the province and they quarantine when they come back, and as far as we know, it never got spread. So everything's still pretty good. We're hoping it stays like that. So I think I'm going to take up over the street, up over the crosswalk here. And he was going to stop for me on the crosswalk, which was okay, but since he's driving a truck and just got it going, I waved him on. So he didn't really go through the crosswalk. I waved him on. I know what that's like because I worked as a truck driver for a lot of years. And so I always give them a break when I can. For any of you people that didn't know, when you if you got room in front of you for a truck to pull in, and you flash your lights for them to pull in, and they go by you and pull in, they'll always flick their tail lights, and that's like saying thank you for letting me in, give me a chance to change lanes. And most truckers do that. So if you ever see them do that, that's why. It's not that their brakes are coming on, they're just flicking their lights saying thank you. You'll find in the north end, the houses are painted all different colors. They're really quite charming. There's everywhere you go up here. The newer ones are a little different, but anything that's been here for years, they paint them all different colors. Like those ones right there. There's a whole lot more places in the city just like that, where the houses are all different colors. And there's a lot of houses with flat roofs there. I'm not sure why, but like those ones and those ones down there, almost all the houses in the north end, not all of them, but a good portion of them are flat roofs. Little auto shop right here. I'm sure they probably do wonderful work, because that's what I do. I don't go to this one, but I go to another small auto shop down in the south end, and they do a really good job in there, and they're very honest, and that's the kind of shop you're looking for. If you got a car and you need mechanic work done, find a small shop, and probably a family-owned business, and they'll probably use you good. So I won't say anything, oh well, because I don't know about all of them, but there's a good chance you'll get used good if you go to a small family-run auto business. So I was on Maynard Street, and now I'm going to take West Street across there and hopefully hook up with Agricola, and then we'll walk up Agricola, which is a business street. Okay, I guess that must be the police station and fire hall, maybe. Oh, I guess it's just a fire station. I don't know. It says fire station here, but there's police cars, so I don't know. It might be a police station as well. Might just be a fire hall. So in the north end, we have a fire station. We got an ambulance station, and there is a big police station that says you're about to come up to the north end. So, here's another construction site just getting underway, and it's kind of sad in a way, but some of the old buildings that are all painted different colors and things, they're kind of going by the wayside, as they need a spot for a construction job. So that's how it is now. If they need a spot to build a big construction job, well, they have to tear down some old buildings that were here. And as charming as they may be, that's progress, I guess. You got to make room for the bigger buildings if you want the city to grow. And personally, I like to see growth in a city. It means that it's not dead, and things are booming. There's construction going on and making a lot of work for people, and it means new people are moving in, and makes the city a vibrant place. All right, we are now up to Agricola, and I'm going to walk across here. Agricola will go right over and join North Street, which I'll probably take, or maybe not. I may stay on Agricola, we'll see. And show some of these things that are down here. This is a, I guess it's a cannibal store. I'm not real familiar with those. Can't really say a lot about that, but it's a cannibal store anyways. I want to feature the restaurants and things like that. If I see any that looks like a nice place or I've been there, I can comment on them. And it's good for business. People that see the videos might decide to come down to that restaurant and try it out. And I want to be helpful in that way. Although I just met a woman with 2 dogs there. And that's a common sight in Halifax, people walking their dogs. There's a spot where there was a building, but it looks like it's possibly they'll make something there. I'm not sure. Doesn't say. And again, you'll see all the different colored houses over there. And these have almost flat roofs. They're tipped a little bit, but some of them are flat, some of them are the other way, but these are kind of just almost flat. And somehow they might manage to find a different color for everyone.